Good morning, it's October 7th. This is To My Liberal Friends. Well, immigration at the southern border continues to be a major issue in this year's election. What's remarkable to me is how many Democrats seem to have finally gotten religion and are now supporting things that could help cut down the number of illegal crossings. Remember when as president, Donald Trump called for building a border wall. He said he would build it and make Mexico pay for it. Well, he did build about hundreds of miles of the border wall. No, Mexico did not pay for it. And as soon as Joe Biden came into office, he stopped any further construction of the border wall. And that's important. And Biden was cheered on by Democrats for taking that action as an immediate repudiation of Trump's immigration policy. Among the critics of the wall was Congressman Gabe Vasquez, a Democrat from New Mexico, who called the border wall a racist monument and demanded it be torn down. Congressman Ruben Gallego, now running for the Senate in Arizona, called the wall stupid and useless. John Tester, who's running scared in Montana, where his game is being liberal in Washington and pretending to be conservative in home Montana, made it plain he felt a wall would be a gross waste of money. Now his campaign is saying they always supported a new technology to secure the border, and Tester's spokesman explicitly says that Tester now supports a physical barrier. Wow, I'm not surprised. But all three Democrats and several others who once opposed it are using footage of the wall in their TV advertising this fall as they tout their commitment to border security and their willingness to crack down on illegal immigration. The pivot from the border critic to at least tacitly embracing the construction of a wall underscores a broader shift among swing seat Democrats as the party tries to neutralize Republican attacks on immigration policy. The issues have taken center stage in recent election cycles, particularly in TV ads where GOP candidates and outside groups accuse Democrats of supporting open borders and use footage of immigrants by the thousands crossing the U.S. border in more and more caravans. I don't want to think this is a border state issue alone, but it's extremely sensitive in those states that border Mexico. Suddenly, any Democrats in a tight race are trying to pretend that they wanted to do something on immigration and tout their support for the so-called bipartisan immigration bill. Now, they blame Donald Trump for it failing, but they ignored that it never passed the Senate and was not even brought up for a vote in the House. They also ignored that the House of Representatives passed an immigration bill early in the Congress, H.R. 1, and sent it to the Senate, and once there, it died on the calendar. No hearings in the Senate and no consideration of the bill. Chuck Schumer just ignored it, and now they're getting their backs up about what they claim was a bipartisan, but in reality had very little Republican support from the outset. Even up in Pennsylvania, Democratic Congressman Matt Cartwright is running a TV ad that shows footage of the wall. But he does not remind voters in 2019 he voted for an amendment that would have banned funding used towards the construction of the wall. Down in North Carolina, Congressman Don Davis, another Democrat, supported that same amendment in 2019, but today he has a TV ad where he stands in front of the wall. The ad says, quote, "It's another to act to do something, to actually go to the border, not once or twice, but 3 times, end quote." I wonder if he ran that ad language past the Harris campaign, because she's only been there once, and that was just this month. Now the Democrats have read the polls and heard from constituents they're attempting to rewrite history. In statements, many Democrat campaigns say they were never against funding a physical barrier, or that their opposition was only toward building a wall that spans the entire border rather than at strategic points. Others have said their positions towards stronger border security have shifted along with the people they represent. No kidding, Dick Tracy. In the vice presidential debate, J.D. Vance made the point that got distorted by both the moderators and Waltz. I'm going to quote him. "Look, in Springfield, Ohio, and in communities all across the country, you've got schools that are overwhelmed. You've got hospitals that are overwhelmed. You have got housing that's totally unaffordable because we have brought in millions of illegal immigrants to compete with Americans for scarce homes." End quote. That's exactly what J.D. Vance said in the debate. What he said was not about Springfield, Ohio, as he clearly pointed out, is in communities across the country. In fiscal year 23, New York City spent $1.45 billion on migrants. The state of Massachusetts spent over $1 billion on migrants. In Colorado, they've spent over $100 million. In fact, a Denver hospital warned that it might have to shut down due to migrants overwhelming the system. Exactly what J.D. Vance was saying. What you hear Democrats saying as their defense is that Republicans rejected the so-called bipartisan immigration bill. They ignore that the Republicans, as I said, sent that immigration bill to them in the first months of the Congress. This is the politics of the immigration issue, and it took 2 years for Democrats to listen to the public and realize it was no longer just a border state issue as these immigrants have flooded the nation. It took 2 years for them to realize that the Biden policies brought the issue home to their states and their districts, and now they're finally getting some religion and want to get something done. This has been To My Liberal Friends. Thanks for listening. If you enjoy the podcast, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. I would appreciate it. Thank you.